Hello again, friends. I am Sarah Norton, and this is the Your Beautiful Soul podcast. Come home to healing. This is episode 4 Life is Now. Before we get started, I just want to ask you a few questions. Are you feeling stuck? Are you ready and sort of willing to move on and into the next levels of your healing, growing, and thriving, but you don't know how to get your body and soul and your life to cooperate? Do you just need a boost to get going or someone to help you discover which direction? If this sounds like you, I hope you will sign up for my new 6-week class, Life is Now. It is my favorite thing I have ever created, besides my children and my marriage to Bill, of course, but it actually does kind of feel like a child to me, something I've dreamed about and is a part of me that I'm creating and growing. But I've been growing it for a lot longer than 9 months. I have been on a 50-year journey that took me to a recent 12-week journey where I put all of the things that I've been learning and all the things that we are supposed to do to care for our bodies and souls to live a bright and vibrant life, and I put them to the test. Do they work? Can I feel better and get in touch with my own beautiful soul? Can I improve my relationship with God? Yes, I can, and I did. Holy cow, you guys, did it work? I held nothing back. I wasn't perfect, and that was also part of my experience. I cannot wait to teach you the things that will help you on your journey. How to get up and get going, how to get to that starting line, how to keep our momentum going so we run right through that finish line and keep on running, because living this way is the best. It feels so incredible to have your body and soul working together and using the energy that you used to spend on internal battles to grow the kind of life that you want. Whatever it is, it's yours. Class starts on April 4th, 5th, or 6th, depending on where you take it, in person or online. At the end of the podcast, I'll give you more information on how to sign up. Okay, on today's episode, I want to teach you a few fun things that I learned on my recent 12-week challenge and give you a glimpse into the new way that I look at things because of both what I learned and experienced. And maybe that will shed some new light on your body and soul and your life that will give you an aha moment or a little lift today. I really hope so. If you listen to episode 2 of this podcast, or if you're friends with me on Facebook or Instagram, you already know that I just finished my 12 Things for 12-Week Challenge to change my life. I did 12 things every day to bless my body and soul so that I could wake up and get going. 2022 was a year of massive healing for me. Exactly a year ago, a friend challenged me to heal from the trauma I experienced in my first marriage. She told me that it wasn't going away on its own, and it was time for me to address it so I could move forward with living my purpose. That's when I discovered the modality of trauma healing that I am now a practitioner of. It is so incredible, and I will teach you all about this very powerful and real way of healing from trauma. So I took at least 6 months to get a lot of this internal trauma work done with my amazing coach, Michelle Jones, who also trained me on how to be a practitioner. I was feeling so much better, and then I held an amazing retreat at my home for 7 amazing, beautiful souls. Then it was the holiday madness, and I got swallowed up in all the things to do. I also got swallowed up in a lot of grief because that's the time of year that both of my siblings who passed away from suicide were born and passed away. I was so sore and achy and tired and exhausted, and I was not taking care of my body. So one night I just realized that the time for healing was done, and it was time to get moving. I know the science-y things and the spirituality things behind feeling good and getting better. So I decided to just apply all 12 of them, well, at least the 12 that I know that work for me, and do them for all 12 weeks. This is something I've already taught and implemented to some degree when I run my 12-week challenges for different groups of people before, but I have never actually done all 12 for 12 weeks. So off I went. And so how did it go? Exactly as I predicted. It changed my life, but way more than I ever dreamed. I think one of the most important things that I discovered was that when I took care of my body, it not only didn't block me from connecting with God or connecting with my soul, it actually facilitated it. One thing I learned when I did my trauma healing and processing work was how to listen to what is going on inside my body. Now, we all know that we have 5 senses that have to do with things going on outside of our body, like taste and touch and smell and hearing and what's the other one? Touching, seeing, vision. But we also have senses to see what's going on inside of our bodies. This is one of the most important skills we can ever learn that no one ever talks about. There is actually a word for it that I just learned, and it's called interoception. There are nerve endings inside our bodies that let us feel around in there. And if we get still and quiet and direct our awareness inside of ourselves, we can actually feel our own heartbeat without even putting our hands on our chest. I love to try and feel way down into each cell. I love to try to fill them with light and energy and love too. Much more on that later. So during a trauma processing session, you ask your body what it experienced and what it felt during this event, and then you feel for the answer. The body has an amazing capacity to remember what it has experienced. It keeps very detailed records right in each cell. Yep, cells have memories. They pass down their memories as they replicate and reproduce before they die off. My body has been passing some very powerful memories down from generation to generation so that one day my 49-year-old self could discover some very important things that happened to my 19-year-old self and help her heal and get unstuck from the trauma. 19-year-old self helped my 49-year-old self, and my 49-year-old self helped my 19-year-old self. She showed me what my legs were feeling like and what my heart was doing and how my whole chest was affected and how my hands were tingling and so many other things. She let me know that that event, that experience was a really big deal and that I wasn't exaggerating, I wasn't being dramatic, and I do need healing. One reason our body keeps this memory is because during trauma, it doesn't have time or energy to make sense of it. Its main job is just to survive. But it records massive amounts of information for future use so it can keep us safe if a similar situation arises. It will be very ready and it will know what to do. And ever since the traumatic event, that part of me is looking for similar warning signs, similar sights, sounds, and feelings and smells so it can jump into action to keep me alive again if the need arises. This is what is behind hypervigilance in PTSD. I know this because I developed PTSD at age 19 and then it turned into complex PTSD. I still have work to do, but I have rescued so many of my younger selves who were standing by with information for me in case I needed it. I love those parts of myself, and I am so glad that they finally get to rest and just be a relaxed and whole part of my life and myself. The other reason that they hold the information is that they are simply not able to process it and understand it at the time of the event because the frontal cortex, the reasoning part of the brain, has gone offline, so all energy can focus on the limbic part of the brain. So the life event gets trapped in a holding pattern in our body until we can come, open it up, and analyze it, and then send it into our memory bank, just like we do with hundreds and thousands of other normal experiences. This is called processing it. Doing this takes the intensity out of the event and out of the memory of the event. And it actually allows the part of the body that held it to rest and tend to whatever healthy functioning it was created for. And all of that is only half of what we do during a trauma processing appointment. The other half is so much fun and is also massively healing. But I will save that for another talk show. It's called the repair portion. I like to call it the rescue portion as well. We get to go in there and get that girl out of there. And before we leave, we let her visualize and repair the situation in whatever way she wants. Visualization is incredibly powerful. Okay, I told you a little bit, but I'll tell you more later, I promise. And I'll show you some examples from my life. So, why is interoception so important in other ways besides healing from trauma? Because it's how we can feel the connection between our body and spirit. What? Have you ever thought about that before? I believe that my trauma work prepared me tremendously for this new feeling, this new experience and skill. And another thing that helped was the fact that during my 12-week challenge, I stopped binging on M&Ms, sugar, other junk food and soda and whatnot, and I was moving my body and getting rid of stiffness and laziness. I was filling my spirit and body with yummy sunshine and the Word of God, and I was rinsing my body with lots of delicious clear water every day and getting at least 7 hours of rejuvenating sleep every night. My body was in a really strong yet settled place to allow me to shine my awareness around inside of me and actually feel what was going on. I know this might sound kind of weird to you, but it was so neat. And I had no idea this was going to be part of my new journey. One of my challenges was to meditate for at least 5 minutes a day and also to read good books in addition to scripture. One that I read that I really loved is called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I gobbled it up. I learned a billion new things that my soul kind of already knew, but I learned them in awesome different ways with different vocabulary. And I learned a new way of meditating that connects your body and spirit. This is one of my favorite new things, and so I was game. It involves interoception. And actually, I remember a few years ago when I was doing some journaling and deep thinking about the body and spirit connection, the inside of my hands woke up and started tingling, and I had this thought: did I just feel my spirit inside my body? Yes, I did. I even wrote about it in my journal, which is another one of the 12 things I did for 12 weeks. I hope you are keeping a journal. When you write down what you learn, you can never lose it, and then you are inviting the universe to pour more light and information into you. I almost can't take it all in when it happens. I love it so much. So, when you are doing the kind of meditation that Eckhart teaches, you are not trying to go into a trance-like state. You are not trying to get below thinking like a plant or an animal. You are trying to just still your mind and stop the thinking so you can free your soul from the grip of the ego mind for a few precious moments or minutes. This is where I started learning how to go from thinking to knowing. More on this type of meditation later. Or you can go ahead and get his books. He's an amazing teacher. I started reading this book about the same time that I was studying Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. And I was reading the book called Miracle Mornings by Hal Elrod. I was really trying to apply Jesus' teachings about having only one master. And I turned myself over to God and asked him to clean me of all unforgiveness, all the darkness, anything inside of me that didn't belong. I asked God to take it from me. And I rededicated myself to living his way. I told him that I would do whatever he led me to do, and that I was his servant, and I wanted to be on his team 100%. I wanted to serve God and not mammon. The next morning was my first miracle morning, and a huge shift happened. My 12 things a day were starting to actually weigh me down at night. I was feeling better physically and spiritually. I was having fun on this adventure. I was losing weight, but I didn't see exactly where it was taking me. And then I started getting up 2 hours before I normally would. And I got my day started off the way I wanted to. I was in charge of my day. I created what I wanted, and I took charge. I did what Hal Elrod calls life savers. Savers is for silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing, which is journaling. The cool thing is that these were things I was already doing for my challenge anyways. I just added in affirmations and my vision board. I had to get used to getting up earlier and getting to bed earlier, and it took me a few days to get in the rhythm. But once I did, I really loved the feeling of getting so many things checked off my list and just starting the day with a bang. All of a sudden, everything that I'd been doing came together all in one incredible 24-hour period. That 24 hours could fill an entire book. Adding affirmations and visualizations was also so powerful. I got my vision board out that had been gathering dust, and I remembered that I'd been dreaming of writing my own new curriculum. In fact, I had it on my vision board. My body and spirit were so pure and in alignment and at peace with each other and with God that it was super easy for him to reach down and inspire me with what to teach, what the name should be, what the logo should be, and more. I was just a pure vessel for this information. It was so much fun to work with God this way. It was not scary, and it gave me tons of energy. You guys might have noticed online how crazy I have seemed. How crazy happy, I mean. Here is a gem. You are your purpose. When you get rid of the sugar, the trauma, the oversleeping, the fear, and heal the hurting parts of your subconscious mind, your younger selves, your purpose bubbles to the surface because you bubble to the surface. You just do what comes naturally because nothing else is in your way. I can't describe the fun it is to have your soul come to the front, to work with the body, connect with God, and live. I just want to talk about the exercising part really quick because there was no one more motivated to stay in bed than me. I'm kind of a newlywed, and I would just rather snuggle with my husband all day long. But I knew it was probably one of the things that I needed the most. I really, really was fascinated by watching my body transform as my legs got stronger and stronger, and my arms too. I started running maybe 2 or 3 minutes at a time, and then 5, and then 7, and I would walk in between. And now I can run for 45 minutes. I can run for 45 minutes. That just blows my mind. I love the fact that I can run for 45 minutes because if a bad guy was chasing me, I could probably just outlast him. I could run away for 45 minutes. I love that about running. Other things that I did were walking my dog, of course, and then I would come back and do some upper body work. I did a workout called Mad Fit, and I also just got some dumbbells and did push-ups and all sorts of, just exercises that I can do on the ground by myself. And I also did Body Groove. Body Groove is a really fun website where they lead you in super easy and really choreographed dances where you just follow along, loosely and have a really good time moving your body. And my body loves to dance. It loves it. It loves it. It loves it. And this morning, I took it outside and I danced around my backyard, and I have not had that much fun in a long time. Oh my goodness. I hope that Google caught it on a satellite camera for sure. Oh, and I would ride my bike too. I had the most amazing journeys on my bike, and I would listen to music, listen to a book. Lots of times I would pull out my phone and take notes from my book into my messages so I wouldn't forget what I was learning. But a lot of the times I just was listening to beautiful music and feeling connected to God, and just being out in the sunshine, listening to music and riding a bike with the wind in your face is so healing. It's seriously, I dare you to do that and have a bad day. So the exercise portion has been so good for just releasing my body and letting it do what it wants to do and teaching it that it is strong, letting it be strong. And also it's been good for my soul to just move again. My soul can't move around unless my body's moving around. The other thing that I loved was just the blood pumping through my skin and my face being red and just feeling like all of my skin was enlivened with this blood nourishing it. And then couple that with all the water that I was drinking, I was just filling my skin cells with so much goodness, oxygen as well. And so that was really cool. I did lose weight. It was really interesting to see. I lost 5 pounds probably right away. And then I plateaued a little bit. And then I lost, because I was also gaining muscle big time. And then I lost a little bit more weight. And then spring break happened. And I gained 3 pounds back. And then I got back and I lost 2 more. So I'm pretty much almost down to the lowest that I was the whole time. But that's okay. I know what to do. And I know that I can do it. And this whole thing really was an experiment out of curiosity. What would happen if I did all these things? How would my body and soul feel in 12 weeks? One last delicious thing that I discovered that you might already know, and that I knew, but I also had no idea really, is that God is super, super close by. In fact, He dwells in us. I know I keep saying He, but I also mean she. The word Elohim is plural. There are 2 halves, a heavenly mother and a heavenly father. When I started doing this part of my journey, I kept really contemplating, what is my spirit made of? What is this essence, this awareness, this consciousness? What is my spirit? Is it pure energy? Is it light? Is it love? And if it is, and God is light and love and the source of all life and power in the universe, and He's the Father of my spirit, then doesn't that part of me perfectly resonate with Him? And if He is in every living thing, and even things that aren't living, isn't He in me? Isn't He still connected to the light that's inside of me? It can't be separated because we are made of the same thing. You guys, I cannot tell you what this realization does to me. Just start contemplating it yourself. Take this thought deep inside and take it up in prayer. What does that mean to you? And that leads me to God journaling. I'm so glad I began conversing with my source of life in this way at the beginning of the challenge, because even though I wasn't feeling super skilled at it, or like I was getting tons of radical information, I got better and better at it, especially around week 8 when this big shift happened, this big paradigm shift. So what am I going to do now that my 12 weeks are done? Well, keep going, of course. I have decided to do another 12 weeks, 12 years, 12 lifetimes, 12 eternities, and I am adding affirmations and visualizations into the whole 12 weeks. I did those the last 3.5 weeks, and they are so fun and so important. I am also not going to have any cheat days for my no sugar challenge. I know that I don't need candy and desserts to feel amazing, and I will care for and heal any part of myself that thinks I do. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this podcast, and I really hope that you can take away something from our chat today. I want you to know that the source of all life in this ginormous universe that we share is deep inside of you and I, and that means we are always safe. We just need to let our spirits lead out. We just need to heal those hurting parts of ourselves so that they don't try to run the ship and squish our souls into compliance. Bodies are meant to do a lot of things, and they are incredible miracles of design, form, and function, but they are not meant to be the driving force behind creating our lives. My soul is, and my body gets to be the instrument I use to make it all come together. We are an awesome team. We get to experience and enjoy it all together, and hopefully someday become so seamless that I won't have to remind parts of myself that my soul is the one driving the bus. We will all be so full of light and whole and in tune with our Creator that we just cruise along, blessing others along the way. And when life gets hard, because it will, and when tragedy strikes, because it will, we will approach it with stillness and peace, knowing that everything is going to be okay. It really will be. If what you are hearing today resonates with your own soul and there is a spark of interest, then fan that flame. Come and learn with me as I debut the 6-week course, Life is Now. On April 4th, 5th, or 6th, we will talk more about all of these things and the importance of staying in today. God is in the now. God is here today in the present moment. If we are stuck reliving or regretting or resenting our past, we will miss Him. If we don't accept ourselves and what we've done, we will miss Him. We will miss us. If we stay in a dream state of someday I'll try that, or someday I'll be rich and someday I'll be happy, then we will miss out on connecting with Him and all of life today. And when that day comes, you'll realize that you're still not happy because you've been practicing not being happy way too often. Trust me when I say I know how to help you find the courage, energy, and ability to do some, if not all, of the things that will bless your body and soul and your whole life. All of us can awaken more. You guys, I thought I was awake. All of us have room to grow. All of us can set down burdens that we don't need to carry and use that energy to move forward and upward. I hope to help you do that no matter where you are on your journey. It is the greatest desire of my life. I love you and your beautiful soul. Speaking of your beautiful soul, go to yourbeautifulsoul.net and click on the Life is Now tab to learn more about and sign up for the 6-week course. Tuition includes a free trauma processing session where you will learn how to communicate with your body and you can rescue your younger self from any situation that was awkward, embarrassing, scary, traumatic, or just annoying. It can be anything, trust me. There are lots of younger yous who will be excited that you are going to listen to them. I dropped the price of this class by $100, so now it's only $150 per person. And if you want to bring a friend, you each save $25, so it's only $125 for each of you. Use code FRIENDSHIP when you check out. Can you guys believe that price? I want everyone to be able to come, honestly, and I want everyone to come. Okay, virtual class 2. The class is 100% real, but you get to do it on Zoom, so anyone can join us from anywhere. Classes are 2 hours long, and there's 1 class a week for 6 weeks. I hope you'll join us. I can't wait to connect with you and your beautiful soul.